Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So I was watching this movie where this guy, he was basically supposed to be helping people who are going through different situations, and he realized that like his entire life he was always putting other people first, and always apologizing or feeling like he had to kind of bend over backwards for other people. And it was basically a point where he said, I finally got to the point where I realized I deserve to be alive. And that's something that just struck me because I realized deep down inside, I didn't feel that either. And I had gone through years of feeling depressed and basically my entire life feeling this dread about my existence. And then when I got into manifestation, it gave me hope from that, breaking point that I had. But at the same time, I feel like I would slip back into these moments of, you know, having this existential crisis because I feel like I still wasn't getting it. I still feel like I dreaded living, even thinking that you have control over your life and you're creating things and you can manifest it with all that knowledge. 13, 14 years later of me having this knowledge and being aware of it, I still feel like I'm lost, and sometimes things feel pointless, and you kind of look around and see other people existing in your reality where they don't have this knowledge and they seem to be happier with where they are. So for me, that was definitely a struggle that I had because it felt like before I was conscious, I kind of felt less pressure than I do after knowing that I can change things. Like I figured by now I would have been at this point where I'm in love with my life. I'm happy with it. And I know that obviously we can manifest that, but you know how they have that saying where they say ignorance is bliss? That's kind of where I felt like before I knew that I was in control. Having that ignorance kind of did feel like less of a weight or less of a chore, but it just made me wonder like why do other people get to be happy or at least content with the life that they're living, capable of succeeding in some forms and, being able to elevate themselves and, progress through life without having the knowledge of manifestation. Meanwhile, here I am taking control of that, but yet still being unhappy and feeling like I'm not accomplishing things. So it was just a matter of me working through that existential crisis and like he said, feeling like I didn't deserve to be alive. Like obviously that came from some depression, but it also felt like it was just this overall feeling that I had my entire life. Is just something that's always been there that I didn't really get to put words to until I started having that, self-reflection and working on myself and really sitting with myself so that I could feel like I want my own life. Because even when you know that you can create any type of thing in your life that you want, you would think that makes you happy and puts you at ease and peace, but it still hasn't provided me that. And that's the frustrating part. When you know that you have all the answers to getting anything that you want, then it's like, okay, well, what do I really want? Because now that I know I have the ability to have anything, I can kind of let those feelings of, being dissatisfied and unhappy, I can let that go. So then it turns into, well, I just want to feel good. I just want to feel like I'm at home in my own body, in my own life, without worrying so much. I just want to be able to look back on my life and say, you know what? I'm proud of the things that I did. I have no regrets. I like who I am. I like my life. And sometimes I just use that at an extreme case. When I look back, what do I want to have experienced, or how would I like to feel, and who would I like to have around me, and then how can I manifest those things into my life? But right now, I'll be honest, I'm still struggling to feel like that 100% I deserve to be here. I genuinely feel good about who I am, because it can be overwhelming at times when you realize you are your reality. Like your consciousness is what gives everything life. If all of this is in me, you kind of feel like, okay, then I really don't want anything. But I think what bothers me is that I still don't have some of the manifestations that I want. And I know that I'm not trying to sit there and complain and, fixate on the fact that it's not here, because I know I do have those things. But it's like, okay, I haven't accomplished those things, but what do I really want? Like, what's next after I get that? Because I thought it was obtaining the things that created the happiness and the excitement. But now when I manifest other things, as soon as I get it, it's just more like, oh, okay, well, I felt that way once I accepted and believed that I could have it. But now that it's here, it's just like, okay, what else can I make? It almost feels like a never ending search or a never ending journey of achieving things, but then never really owning anything, if that makes sense. Just the feeling of, endlessly searching for things. And I guess that's what I'm kind of searching for, that completeness in life. Because in this reality, there's always going to be things that are unmanifested, or you're always going to want something else. And it's just making me kind of ramble on about just experiences in life and what the purpose of life is in general. Because once you know that you deserve to be here, your reality is going to start reflecting it. So when you think about feeling deserving of being alive, that means you'll probably feel worthy of getting the things that you want, or having people treat you the way that you want, whether that's in relationships, whether that's friendships. It's like once you let go of this idea that you're not good enough, or you're unworthy or undeserving of things, then the things that you want will come. Because somebody who knows the deserving, feels confident, feels happy about life, is naturally going to perceive life in a different way, naturally going to attract experiences that continue to prove how you feel deserving of those circumstances and situations. So I think the key takeaway from this is accepting the feeling of deserving everything that you could imagine. You're deserving of having the best life that you could possibly imagine, think of, dream of. And don't let any past experiences or anything you're seeing right here, right now, trick you into believing otherwise. Like, once you can hold firm to knowing that you deserve to be alive, then you're going to know what it's like to really live. And I'm starting to learn that and kind of let go of anxiety and fear and all of those other emotions. And I think that's a part of being alive, being able to feel those emotions so deeply and yet not be controlled by them. Like, knowing you are the force, the energy that fuels these emotions, that give them life so much that you believe in them and feel like they control you. Like, that's very powerful, to be able to buy into these life experiences so deeply that you believe it has control over you. So, I didn't really know where I was going with this, because usually I put notes and stuff like that together before I start speaking. I just hope I wasn't rambling too much, but I feel like this is where I can end this video. It was just something that came up and I felt the need to talk about it and just, ramble on for a little bit. But if anybody could relate, leave a comment. What are your thoughts? Or if you want to hear my perspective on it a little bit more, or maybe I could do affirmations about being deserving to be alive. Because if you could at least be secure in that, I think it'll be naturally easier for you to accept happiness into your life, to accept love, to accept peace, to just feel good in general, and even to just be optimistic and hopeful of positive experiences. Just starting with that foundation, I deserve to be alive, I guarantee that in itself is going to change the course of your life in a short amount of time. So I think this is where I'm going to end the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.